Platform competition. Hailey Ishimatsu of USC has the lead with Amy Cozad of Indiana in second. Tennessee's Tori Lamp, third place in the 5-round competition. Laura Ryan of Georgia with her 4th-round dive. She was third on the platform at the SECs.
And I was talking to her coach, Dan Locke, before the competition, and he was talking about how into the meet she is. She knows what all the swimmers need to do. She's been a great asset. She actually, he said, she knows more about the swim meet and what's going on with the California swimmers, etc., than some of the Georgia swimmers do. She's a great teammate for all of those Georgia swimmers. And that was a very good inward 3.5. She missed somewhat in the previous round, but this will make up some points. And he talked about how she needs to look at the water on the entry in order to line up vertically there. And that was the way to look at it and not duck your head going in the water.
7.5s and 7, 68.80 the total. Cheyenne Cousineau is a sophomore at Ohio State, Big Ten champion in the platform.
And she has a very difficult list, especially in these last 2 rounds. High degree of difficulty dives, and her longtime coach at Ohio State, Vince Panzano, is very animated when she does a good dive, and he's very animated when it doesn't go well. And that went well. He can get excited about that because that back 2.5 with 1.5 twist was very well performed. There's a lot of somersaulting, 2.5 somersaults, and a lot of twisting. And sometimes it's hard to make that dive look pretty, but I think she does a real good job of that. Nice to see her going vertically, a little more splash than she wants.
65.60 for the Buckeye. Staying in the Big Ten, Amy Cozad from Indiana, 3rd trip to the NCAAs.
And she is a senior. This will be her last NCAA competition, as well as the last competition for her coach, Jeff Huber. He is retiring after 24 years coaching at IU. Only retiring from coaching, not retiring from possibly teaching and writing at Indiana. He's a PhD in psychology. Amy Cozad, an inward 3.5 somersault in 2nd place. Going into the 2nd to last round, she was a walk-on 4 years ago, actually 5 years ago. She redshirted, and this is a very nice inward 3.5 somersault. Should keep her right in the hunt. She will definitely stay in the top 3.
See an 8 in there, 7, 7.5, 67.2. 4th round for Hailey Ishimatsu. Really diving well. What about a record here for her?
Well, if she does this dive well, this one, she was on the 2008 Olympic team, and she is a seasoned competitor as a junior at Southern Cal. If she does this dive well, I think she could be in the hunt for Brittany Viola's record from 2008. This is a back 3.5 somersault. There you go. She is diving beautifully. Most of her scores in the first 3 rounds were 8s and above, nothing below that, and this is a terrific back 3.5, the best one we've seen. The jump impeccable, the kick out tight, beautiful pointed toes, the highest scoring dive of the meet thus far.
And guess what? 8s and above, 82.50 for the junior from Seal Beach, California.
Big relief.
Tori Lamp now with her final dive of the 4th round, junior from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And she was 2nd in this event last year. She is the only diver in this final to have made the final in all three events, the 1 meter, the 3 meter, and the platform. I've talked about that it's the marathon here for divers, and she is proficient at all three levels. And that's a back 2.5 somersault pike. And her coach, Dave Parrington, told me if she does this dive well and she stays in this squat right there long enough, she'll be in good balance and control coming off the platform. So that's a nice effort. It's a little bit lower degree of difficulty than some of the other women had in this round, but should keep her in the top 3.
She does get 7.5, so you see the total there. 1 round to go here on ESPNU. Welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana, home of the NCAA, and today, home to the Women's Swimming and Diving Championships. Nearly a 50-point lead after a great round 4 dive. Hailey Ishimatsu, she's in front over the field with Georgia's Laura Ryan moving into 5th place. Laura Ryan, her final dive. She was all SEC first team out of Elk River, Minnesota.
She could possibly move up into the top 4. 3 would be tough, not impossible, but she needs a good dive here at 3.2 degree of difficulty. She is competing for 4th with the sophomore from Ohio State, Cheyenne Cousineau, who has 1/10 degree of difficulty more than Laura in this final round. That's a very nice back 2.5 with 1.5 twist. Laura Ryan did 4 terrific dives. And there's her coach, Dan Locke. 4 terrific dives, missed 1 dive, but ends up with a nice back 2.5 with 1.5 twist. And she's going to have to wait and see if she will be in the top 4. She was in 5th place.
64 points total for Ryan. Ohio State's Cheyenne Cousineau battling Laura Ryan for 4th place here in the platform.
And I think this is the most difficult dive that a woman does from the platform, even though it might not be the highest degree of difficulty dive in the competition at 3.3. It is so difficult, a reverse 3.5, and her coach, Vince Panzano, went crazy in the prelims when she did it well. And she does it fairly well. Now, you saw a big splash on the entry. She wants to clean up that entry, but she completes the somersaults, and she ends up pretty well straight up and down. So this is not a miss by any means. It is not a miss. And if she is able to clean up this entry, which she did better in the preliminaries, then it is lights out for a diver like Cheyenne Cousineau, because she has a ton of talent.
There you see it, 5.5s across the board.
And that's enough.
Cousineau, that moves ahead of Ryan.
Yes.
Amy Cozad, Big Ten champion, the senior in 2nd place right now.
And it's her final dive in NCAA competition, a forward 3.5 pike. Her coach, Jeff Huber, talked about how fantastic she is. And when she first walked onto the team, he said, I don't know what planet you're from, but I want to get more from that planet, because she is a delight. Now, this forward 3.5 is a little shy of vertical, just right there, a little bit shy of that vertical line that you want to see, but still good enough to keep her in the top 3. She was 3rd in the event last year, and she may end up in the same position this year. It's all going to depend on Tori Lamb.
63 points for Cozad. Hailey Ishimatsu, can she get the NCAA record?
Absolutely. It should be a piece of cake for her. This is one of her best dives. The record is 362.60 points, set by Brittany Viola of Miami, another Olympian, but it was set in 2008. And all she needs. Oh, that was fabulous. That is a record-setting dive right there. A first NCAA title for Hailey Ishimatsu. And this is, once again, the highest scoring dive of the meet thus far. didn't need anywhere near the points that she's going to receive on this dive.
Picture perfect, and the scores show it. 9's an NCAA record. Cynthia mentioned first NCAA title, and she'll remember this moment.
And her coach, Hong Ping Lee, is such a gentle, not a big man, but I call him a gentle giant because he is a great coach.
Tori Lamp now, the junior from Tennessee, her final dive here in the 5th round.
She needs mostly 8s to be second ahead of Amy Cozad. She cannot win the competition. There's her parents, Danny, her mother Diane, and boyfriend Lucas. And it's going to be close. It's going to be close to, I think, 7.5s and 8s. She needs more 8s than 7.5s to go ahead of Amy Cozad. This is a beautiful last round dive, and there was a lot of drama coming in here. She was the top qualifier. She won't win, but she could get second.
And there's the scores.
She does it.
76.80. Lamp will move into second place and Cozad third. An NCAA record-setting effort for Hailey Ishimatsu as she wins the title here. Tori Lamp finishing in second from Tennessee, and Indiana's Amy Cozad third. Here's Rowdy with the record setter.
Oh, and Trey, it's full of smiles down here. Hailey, did you think you had a chance going into this final round that you could actually break that record?
I honestly wasn't even aware of the record. I just focused on doing my dive the best I could.
And then take me through that last dive. It was almost perfect from my standpoint.
I just really focused on what I needed to do, what I've been training, and since it was my last dive, I was having fun and felt really good.
Having fun is right.